I'm just excited to talk to you this morning about the learning perspective. So, I picked this topic for this morning because I had somebody on Threads ask me this question, or rather, it wasn't a question the way she phrased it, it was just a comment. She said, I wish that I knew how to use my triggers as portals into growth rather than holes to fall into that I just can't seem to get myself out of. And I thought that was such a relatable question. There is a story from the West Wing about somebody that is just walking down the street and they fall into a hole. I also heard this story from my therapist a long, long time ago, and she told it slightly differently. The way that she told it was that there's a man that's walking down the street and he falls into a hole. And then the next time he's going down that street, he like also trips and falls into the hole. And then the next time he goes down the street, he remembers that there's a hole there and then walks around it. But in the West Wing version, somebody comes along, sees that person that has fallen into the hole, and comes down into the hole. Now, the person that is originally in the hole says, wait, why did you come down here? Now we're both stuck. And the person that is helping says, yes, but I've been in this hole before. I know the way out. So the moral of that is that if you can use that problem as a portal, I would even say as a portal into connection. Because if you are experiencing something and you know that you're probably not uniquely the only one suffering with this problem, you can actually use that both as a portal into connection with others and also as a portal into connection with yourself. And also as a connection into resourcefulness as well. Like, okay, also, there is a piece of this that has to do with like a perceptual shift. If I circle back to that question that I was responding to, where the person is asking me, how do I use triggers as a portal into my own growth and my own understanding? Simply recognizing that that is possible to do creates a perceptual shift. Now, rather than just being in your own experience, experiencing the problem, you can step outside of yourself and you can look at yourself from like a third position. You can step outside of that and be like, oh, like this is what I'm experiencing. I'm going to get curious about that. Is what it seems to me like the gospel truth, or is there another way to see it? And that can create some really interesting realizations. I'm going to switch to this funny little meme that I shared on my Facebook this morning or yesterday. I really like this picture. I captioned it a rare photo of all three of me. And that got a lot of laughs. It made me giggle as well. But I liked the framing of this as all three of me because here you see there's Marilyn Monroe just seeming kind of spaced out. And then there's this person that's looking at her, and then there's this person that's looking at the camera, giving the camera a stink eye. And I love that. If you just, it's like you're kind of like stepping out of the experience of whatever it is that you're experiencing. You're looking at it from a different perspective. And in that different perspective, you're learning something new. So that is kind of what I've got this morning. I'm going to keep this short and sweet, but I will say that when we are making these changes, when we're trying to shift from taking something as a trigger into a portal into growth, it is so very helpful to have help with that because as human beings, we kind of we struggle to understand ourselves outside of the context of the way that we relate to others. There's something about being able to use the other to reflect what it is that we're experiencing that is so incredibly valuable. So while I do center my work around teaching self regulation tools, the context in which you will even understand how to use those things comes from being in relation with others. So that is what I have got this morning. And I just want to invite anyone, if you're watching this, to share a little bit in the comments about experiences that you've had that are like maybe coming up in this time in your life that might be experienced in a different way if you looked at them from that third position, if you looked at them from that learning perspective. Okay, what am I learning from this? How can this be a portal into my growth rather than just another trauma trigger? All right, bye bye.